Hello, everybody. You already know who it is. No introduction needed. Today, I am joined by Flusky. Flusky, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm the ProtoSmasher staff manager, also the host of ProtoCast.
Flusky, tell the audience more about what you do.
So, I'm the host for ProtoCast with Magic Mans and Nexture. If you don't know what ProtoCast is, it was a podcast exploiting community-wide, hosted on July 25th on 5 o'clock. I think it was 5 o'clock
Ooh,
p.m. EST, right?
Yeah? And how did it...
It went really well.
Yeah?
The first part was really buggy. We had a lot of issues with the bot. But at the end, I feel we got a lot of good recording in. We're trying to get the video uploaded on YouTube, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's been 6 days, and tell me more about what's the point of it. Like, what do you guys usually talk about in it?
So there are 3 general themes: Discord servers, general exploiting, and off-topic. And you can talk about a wide range of topics within those themes, as long as they're within that theme. So I feel like there's a wide variety of speakers that can join.
Yeah, and which exploits have you been talking to recently?
So, we had speakers from Sinat, Calamari. We had a unit speaker, but he called out. We had the temple owner. We had the Helicity owner.
Oof.
We had Elim, and we hope to get a bunch more. We had Proto, of course, but yeah, that's
really interesting to hear. So you have a lot of, exploits where you talk to them about off-topic and on-topic stuff. Tell me more about general exploiting. What do you guys really talk about in there?
For example, we had speakers like 3DS Boy just answering general questions about their exploits. We had a discussion about specific eras of exploiting, like 2015 to 2017 and like 2018 to 2020, and we had like YouTubers talking about their experiences. It's just a bunch of general community stuff.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And tell me, are there any specific topics that are interesting to you during the ProtoCast/podcast?
Well, I would say one of the funniest parts was near the end where the ProtoCast itself was at its end, and it was just Slappy and Defcon and a couple other people in the call, and they're just talking about random stuff. It was really interesting. I don't know why, even though it wasn't a part of the podcast. It was really cool. So,
all right. So your 3 topics were exploiting offsite and general questions, right?
yeah, about.
So when you say off-topic, what do you really talk about? Do you just talk about just tell me more about it.
So there's a really wide range of topics that can be discussed. Like you can go from singing random Minecraft parodies to just debating about random things in real life. So
it's just just talking what's on your mind, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any future stuff you're willing to see? Like any plans for the future of ProtoCast?
I hope to see a more stable bot. More speakers, obviously. From a huge variety of different exploits. I would love to see a bunch of them, and more viewers. Yeah, that's what I hope.
Yeah, so that's really interesting to hear. And tell me, you're going to upload this onto V3rm, right?
Yeah. Once the VOD is on YouTube, clipped and edited. Yeah.
And how long is it?
The whole thing in itself, unedited, it's about 7 hours of footage. So we got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, that's pretty long. And I heard that you actually featured Sagan Missing. And what did they talk about?
So they talked about, the official theme was how V3rmillion has affected and will continue to affect the exploiting community. And they started off with a bunch of general questions about V3rm itself, and it devolved into more of a Q&A about what Verm was going to be doing in the near future, and we got a lot of nice input.
And tell me, what was the most interesting questions that you received?
Some questions I've received about ProtoCast itself are like,
Well, in general, like questions you thought were interesting that were asked, and questions that were asked towards you. Like that was the most
oh, okay,
interesting.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense. The coolest question I saw was it was probably gonna have to be for there was a Q&A with 3DS Boy, and they were asking like what is it like? Is Synapse going to branch into other games? And I've always wanted to hear about if they are going to branch out, and I guess he said like maybe, and there's a little bit of hope in the future for that. So
And were there any cool questions regarding Proto Smasher?
regarding Proto Smasher, during Slappy's Q&A at the end, there were a couple questions about like the new external UI, like that's one of my favorite parts of Proto Smasher, the external UI. And there were some hints at it, but there's been a lot of ideas for Proto that have been put on the back burner.
And then talking about the future, like future, like a long time from now, do you think that Proto Smasher or ProtoCast will still continue to be the podcast you planned for it to be today, or will it transform into something else?
I have a feeling it's going to transform because I'm going to be most likely leaving the team in the fall, which will mean either the podcast itself devolving into more of a less Proto Smasher based podcast, or it's going to be a different host, or it's going to be a bunch of different things. But I hope that it'll be Proto Smasher. So yeah.
Are there any specific reasons regarding your leaving, or is it just because of life?
Well, in the fall, I'm going to be taking very difficult engineering classes, and I won't have time to do anything Discord related.
So do you feel like when you joined the Proto Smasher team, do you think that affected your life in any way?
Yes, very. I was a very hard moderator. I'm a Discord server moderator, and then also, um, last year December I became the staff manager. So it's just a lot of Discord management. Yeah, it's been affecting my life a lot.
Do you think that after you take your engineering classes, do you think you'll be able to come back to the team, or will you just stay away for the time being?
It all depends on if during that same summer, I don't have any class. If I don't, I'd be happy to return. But since Proto Smasher is going to be merging into Sentinel in the near future, I'm not sure if it'll be, the same exploit it was.
So yeah, that's really interesting to hear. My last question for you is, what is your opinion about all of these new exploits being created? Because right now, we have like these big top dogs like Synapse and all the other top dogs. I'm not really a big exploiting guy. So, what's your main opinion about people are creating these new exploits every day?
I feel like it's a good idea. It's a very top heavy environment right now with a couple leading competitors, but there is always room for a couple people to develop and build and get some buyers. So I'm happy for them. I hope they prosper.
And do you think that level 8 will be ever achievable?
Excuse me, lovely.
Level 8?
Oh, level 8.
Yeah, sorry, my
Um,
bad.
no, don't worry about it. I'm not sure. I don't really know my levels that well, but if there is a vulnerability that is found out, then yeah, probably. I'm not sure. So,
All right, well, that's great to hear. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. This is Juan and Flusky. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks for everybody.
thank you.